Hello everybody, my name is Walter and this is episode 35 of my Redstone Commands Series. In this episode I want to cover how you can use commands to change the spawning locations of players. Now there are two commands in the game that can be used to change where players will spawn: setworldspawn and spawnpoint. The main difference is that setworldspawn changes the default spawning location for all players, even players that are currently not in the game, and spawnpoint works similar to a bed or a nether anchor and only targets players that are currently in the game and basically overrides the default location. Set world spawn will also only work in the overworld, and it also changes the location of the spawn chunks. Now, if you don't know that, the spawn chunks are an area around the spawn location that will remain loaded even if no player is near them, which is quite useful for certain farm setups. Just search for spawn chunk and farm, and you will find quite a few rather efficient and useful designs out there. And with that, let's get to the syntax. So the two commands, as you can see here, are very similar. The setWorldSpawn is the name of the command, followed by the new center of the spawn area and also spawn chunks with XYZ coordinates. If you don't define them, this will default to the position of whoever is executing the command at this point. And after that, you can define the horizontal angle or orientation of the newly respawned players. This will default to 0, which would be south. You can also use the tilde notation here to define it relative to the orientation of whoever is executing the command at that point. I will show you an example in a few seconds. And the spawn point works extremely similar, name of the command. Then we specify the target or targets. This can be player names or target selectors. If you don't define it, it will default to whoever is executing the command, generally you. And after that, you have again the new spawn point. This time you don't change the spawn location, the spawn chunks. And after that, you again have the horizontal orientation. And with that, let's get to the two examples here. So let's start with the set world spawn. Here I'm just setting the world spawn to 0, 69, and 0. So every new player will spawn around this area. And I'm using the tilde notation, which means that they will then also look in the same direction as I am doing at this very moment, at least horizontally. And you can see I'm looking roughly west, 90.37 and so on degrees. And that's how this command works. And the spawn point, let's say you just want to save your current position, then just write spawn point. It will default to you, your current position, and south. And as you can see, now I've saved my current position, and this is also only working for me. So if a new player is in the game or another player would be in the game, they wouldn't be affected by this. And with that, we've reached the end of this episode about the setWorldSpawn and spawnpoint commands. I hope you enjoyed it, and well, see ya.